Alrighty, everybody. Minister Brother Derek here. I just want to do this real quick. It's 4:39. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's just go ahead and get this. I'm going to drop it for you. Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Jesus put an offer on the table, and everyone out there is now able to come home with God in your heart. You're never alone if you believe me. You don't need that weed. Give Jesus a hug and put down those drugs. The victory over death is already won. So why are you picking up that gun? If your spirit is activated, now think. Why do you need that alcoholic drink? Because the devil tells you. He rules you. He fools you. But the minister is here to school you. I'm here to preach. I'm here to teach. And it's you I'm trying to reach through this song that I compose. When Jesus comes back, only God knows. Are you ready or are you sitting heavy? Are you ready or are you sitting heavy? You won't be if you follow me. Alright, come on with it now. Oh God, what can I say about thee? You still love us sinners and you offer your grace for free. I'm not worthy, but you still search me out of a life of sin. And with Jesus' help, I know I can win. I love serving my Lord. He opens the door to a relationship with God. This is the only way in. In the name of Jesus, I always pray and I lay myself as a footstool for the lost demons. I know that for me. It's not true to be a believer, but I'm not with my soul in the hands of the deceiver, a wicked devil who bring up input trouble. I put my desires in ice and long for reaching paradise. A day with no pain, no stress. You gave me the way, and now I'm blessed. You can test me, let the devil stress me. But baby, hell is one place I don't want to see. So stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Are you ready or are you set heavy? Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Minister Brother Derek. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace, everyone. This is Minister Brother Derek. I'm coming at y'all real. And that's what I do. It's really hard to be a Christian in 2020. Yes, it is. Everybody seems to have a double stamp on us. And we don't get no respect in the world. We are considered weak. We are considered soft. We are considered dumb for believing in the book. But yet, these people have no morals. And you see where the world is going to be. We get no credit. So, this is for those who are hanging on, who are remaining, who are clinging on to Jesus. Let's get it. Every day I dance before the Lord. So I stay connected to Jesus like an extension cord. I walk upon a stripe as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine. Let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my guide. And if he lets me live another day, I'll continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning, come to God and start winning. I roll with the Lord who is in control. Heaven is my goal. This earth is the first level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil. He's a liar. He's a fraud. His desire is to keep me away from my God. The most people I come off as righteous, but if tempted, I might just do a few of the things that God can't stand. He frowns on every day. I've been reborn. I've been hit with many opportunities. I cannot remain in unity with the Holy Father. Sometimes I wonder, is it worth the bother? I remain devout, but it feels like I'm missing out. Most of the people that I meet who lie, steal, and cheat seem content, while Christians like me, our time is spent struggling. It should be the other way around. I'm not complaining, but how can you tell someone who's living it up to give it up when they're posting high? Doing right is a headache. There's got to be a better road to take. You know, a middle ground between Jesus and Satan. I know who to follow. See, I'm not debating for what I'm waiting for. Satan is winning the battle, but God is winning the war. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I take connected to Jesus like an extension cord. I walk around the right as long as my name is in the book of life. So let my light shine.
Let it broadcast worldwide.
I let Jesus be my guide, and if he lets me live another day, I'll continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning, come to God and start winning. I roll with the Lord, who is in control. Getting to heaven is my goal. This earth is the first level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil. He's a liar, he's a fraud. His desire is to keep me away from my God. It's a struggle every day to stay on course. I'm behind the enemy line, so I use the word of God as my force, my resource. Becoming immune to the negativity that surrounds me. The devil has a bounty on my head. Sometimes I dread coming outdoors. I feel like I've been drafted for war. But it's okay, the devil can play his mind game, but he can't hurt me where it counts. That's spiritually. He tries to distract me physically, financially, but these things don't mean jack to me. I turn my back to me. It's not easy. It's in man, niggas could be greedy. So I always want what we can't have. A material means nothing to me. Hey, don't make me laugh. A few endorphins, what's the difference? It's all show. Cause both of these things will take me where I got to go. But if I cheat or steal, then I lose my protection. For a house or election, to be under the direction of a sick demon. Whose goal is to own my soul. No thanks, I roll with the Lord who is in control. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I stay connected to these like an extension cord. I welcome all the strife as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine, let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my guide, and if he lets me live another day, I continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning. Come to God and start winning. Mr. Minister, Brother Derek.
It says right here.
Let's get it.
P10.
Welcome to the Minister Brother Derek Show, and I am Minister Brother Derek. I just want to say that I love Jesus, and that's the title of this song. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us. Can't get enough. I love my Jesus. Well, people say to keep it real. But here's the deal. If you're not saved, you're missing out. If you're not born again, your future is in doubt. Your body wasn't made to last. When your time comes, it will be reduced to ash. Your flesh will rot, but your light will not. You know your soul will go on forever, so you better realize that you need God, or you will be surprised by the pain of a flame that never goes out. The pits of hell, where the heat swells up, there's no relief, not for a moment of peace. The agony and cries never cease, and someone in the background singing, burn, baby, burn. This isn't normal. Burn, baby, burn. I'm a walking inferno. But seriously, though, this will happen if Jesus come back and finds you napping. See, no one knows the time of day. But if you follow the word, it won't matter anyway. Because in heaven, no one will ever be sick or shed a tear. So in this realm, I show no fear. What you gonna do? Kill me? Make me a martyr? Give me a head start? Put me on the fast track? So keep macking. Keep stacking, keep on shacking up, but get caught napping and the jig is up. And I just want to say, I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let that devil deceive us. I love you, Jesus. If you think that witnessing to your neighbors is weird, think of foreign country with statues of idols are revered. Nations of people who don't know God, only mythical characters like a battle or Czar. Most Americans believe in one God, one superior being. Christians should be scorned of souls by the million, but we spend our time fulfilling the desires of our flesh. We won't give Jesus our best effort, but we ask for blessings that we don't deserve. And you wonder why our prayers are not heard. In church, you put down those you really admire. You know you have a desire to make that easy money, drive the fancy car, you feel like a star. When you enter the bars or clubs, deep down your spirit isn't for God or his ways. So why should anybody listen to a darn thing you say? I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us.
I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us.
I love you, Jesus. Yeshua.
I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us.
I love you, Jesus.
Let the Holy Spirit lead us. And one more time. I love you, Jesus. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get to the Bible study. The minister, Brother Derek Show. Let's get it.
Yes, let's get it. Welcome to the show, everybody. I know I'm late, but I'm here early. Still for something. Welcome, everybody. I'm still a little drowsy because y'all know the night before last, I went out and rode all through my city. Then got up the next morning and we rode around again. And I told y'all, if I get up before 12, I'm coming live. And we came live at 11 something. So I kept my word. We also got trolled last night. And so I changed the topic of today's Saturday sermon because we were going to look at something. You remember we had Mike and Pops on last Saturday? They gave me something to share with y'all. And we were going to look at that. And we'll still look at it. But I want to deal with what happened last night. I want to deal with what happened last night because I checked the comment section. I challenge the people in the e-bike world. If you think your e-bike can do what my e-bike can do, come challenge me. We ain't got not one comment. I ask any company, if you think your bike is better than my bike, post a video showing it or email me and send me the bike and I'll go test it for you. Not one comment. I notice that when you try to enter into a new field, you can't do what everybody else is doing. You'll get lost. Would y'all not agree with that? What's going to separate you from the other people? You got YouTubers that got people to film them and they got all this cameras and quality and drones but they don't show you what the bike can do. They just show you little clips. Anything can look good for a minute. I'm sure most people can get in the ring with Mike Tyson and get a jab off before you knock him out. You can run around the ring for a minute till you get tired, and then he's going to knock you out. So I thought, why not do, since I'm trying to get people to get mobile, to get people out the mobility scooters and out the power chairs, why not show how you could use the bike in everyday use? And why not stress them? Because nobody else is doing that. I just watched a video from a dude. He sat there and got all these clips of these tests, but he's only for like 30 seconds is he showing you, and then he go on to something else. Anything can look good for 30 seconds. How is it going to hold up? That's why we shot the video. And I noticed that when I showed the video, there wasn't no more trolling. We ran that bike for 3 hours. Full throttle. We went everywhere. They had no comment. Still ain't got not one email, not one comment for somebody saying, hey, look at what my bike can do. We didn't get one. But that brings us to our topic. They gave us a topic today. The topic is, why is it that when somebody speaks out against evil, you go after the messenger? You don't go after the evil. Can I say that again? Why is it when somebody points out the evil, you go after the messenger that's exposing the evil, but you never go after the evil? You had people who didn't come in and defend their e-bikes. Instead, they came in saying, we're going to flag you. They came in saying, we're going to call the FTC and I'm going to let the Facebook group know about you. We talking about e-bikes. Is your e-bike better? Can your e-bike do this? What they got to do with flagging? Flagging means you're trying to silence somebody who's pointing a light on the subject. Why would you want to silence somebody just pointing the problem out? Why you don't come in and try to help solve the problem? No, you don't want to solve the problem. You just want to take out anybody that points to the problem. Because you had a guy come in and say, bootleggers like me, bootleggers like me hurt his business. What? How does me stressing e-bikes hurt his bike business? Huh? How do I hurt his business? If he really felt that way, why he didn't offer me coupons for his bikes? And let me promote his bikes? He probably got an overpriced store. And see, people with coupons hurt his business because people can save money. So rather than lower your prices and compete, you want to just go after the messenger. Do y'all understand? Do you understand? Rather than change what they doing, they want to take out somebody that got the courage to point out what they doing wrong. See, they going to keep doing the evil, but they want to take out those who point the evil out. Why do we human beings do that? You better be lucky that people don't pay me no mind. You evildoers out there. You better be lucky that we small. Because if we ever get big, see, unlike you, we're going to start cleaning up the evil. While you like to wallow in it. If I ever get big enough, we're going to start cleaning it up. We're going to start getting it out of our society. That's what you're afraid of. You try to attack somebody who attacks what's wrong because you don't want what's wrong to be fixed. You cool with it. You know, later on, we're going to talk about what Mike said last Saturday about Jesus not knowing you if you call him Jesus. I find that strange. Why did God have Jesus confuse the people, make us different colors, give us different languages, if they wanted everybody to speak the same language? That's what I kept wondering. See, I'm going to use common sense. If I say I want a cola, if I say Coke, if I say Pepsi, if I say RC, you know I want a cola. So you telling me that Jesus and God or Yahweh and Yeshua, you think they're retarded and they don't know you talking to them? They're retarded and don't know. If they were not okay with you saying Jesus, why has it been allowed for all these thousands of years? They say that's how they separate you. So you can go out here and do all these evil things, but as long as you say Yahweh and Yeshua, you're going to get into heaven. I just ask the questions that don't have no answer to. That's what I do. Because when he says, Lord, Lord, people will say that to me. And I'll say, I don't know you. It ain't because they calling him Lord. It ain't because they calling him Jesus. It ain't because they calling him Christ. He don't know them because he don't have a relationship with them. Because they used the example. They said if your name is Joe and they don't call you Joe, will you turn around? Well, if you, Joe the mechanic, and somebody say, hey, mechanic, I need you to work on my car, Joe's going to turn around. Yeah, I'm a mechanic. What? If you're a stripper and somebody say, I need you to dance, I need somebody to dance. Hey, stripper, my name ain't stripper, my name is Candace. No, they're going to say, how much? What you paying? You're putting too much into a name. Do you have a relationship with Jesus or Yeshua? If you don't have a relationship with him, he doesn't know you. Why is that so hard to understand? You're not calling me by my Arabic name. You're not calling me by my Hebrew name. But you know me. I let you in my mind. I let you in my heart. I try to live as you lived. You do know me. Don't say you don't know me because I'm calling you in a different translation of your name. Then you should disallow the translation. The people he referring to is the people who say, well, you know, the children in the orphanage caught on fire. They ain't got no place to live. Well, I'm going to go get them hotel rooms. You think Jesus going to stop you? When he see people need help, you think he going to stop you? That don't mean he know you. What you going to say when you stand in front of him? Well, you know, I got the hotel rooms for them orphans, you know. He's going to look at you like, I don't know you. Why should I let you in when I don't know you? Yeah, you did a good deed. But you went and told everybody, but you ain't do it for me. You did it to get love from other people. You got your reward already. Didn't everybody pat you on the back? Wasn't you in the newspaper? Don't you still got the clippings hanging above your bed and on your mirror? Every time somebody come over, don't you show them off? Or you show the little video that the news company did on you? You got your reward. What you want from me? That's what he gonna say. If anybody want to join the conversation, because see, unlike other YouTubers, when somebody come up here, if they saying something halfway intelligent, I let them go ahead. I noticed last week a lot of people were saying Brother Dark wasn't saying much when they were talking. I'm on here every day. If I get people on here and they saying something that's worth listening to, I'm gonna let them say it. Why do I gotta interrupt them? Why do I have to be the star of the show? If I got guests, let them come on. You see me every day. This is why I asked the question. Why do you go after the messenger instead of trying to solve the problem? Why is somebody exposing the problem becoming your focus? Because while I'm out there pushing my e-bike, I'm risking my life out there riding around. I'm risking damaging my bike. We got stranded before on the PX1. But see, if something did happen, you would say, yeah, he shouldn't have done it. Because you sure ain't going to help. you'll take that as an opportunity to say, see, that's why you don't do that. He was crazy for doing it. No, I believe in the bikes that I give coupons for. And I believe them so much that I put everything on the line. I'm asking you to use my coupon to buy these bikes. Why can't I put my neck on the line? I'm asking you to spend your money. Why can't I spend my time? Doesn't that make sense? It doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't. I got people telling me that my videos are too long. How are they too long? If you believe in something, why you gotta rush it? If you confident in something, why do you gotta rush? You rush when you're not confident, when you don't want people to see the flaws. That's when you rush. I show you all the flaws. I don't have to. The camera is in the front of the bike. But we carry a 360-degree camera so you can see everything. I don't want you to miss. If it's something wrong, I want to tell you about it so you don't come back later and complain. If I tell you the bike gonna be there within 7 days, if 8 days go by, you should be coming back here complaining. And my response should be, let me find out what's going on. My response shouldn't be, oh, just wait. It's coming. You shouldn't bother me for it. Just you're an inconvenience. Okay, it'll be there. Just, but that's what you would do. Be patient. It's coming. That's what you would do because you don't stand behind your word. Your word don't mean nothing. What you say out your mouth don't mean nothing. You don't have no conviction. You don't have no belief system behind you. Just whatever it takes to get what you want. That's what you believe in. Somebody asked me about the curtain behind me. Y'all know that these curtains that we bought them back in February. And you can see that it's pinned up to allow the air from the air conditioner to come in. You know that I blocked it up, the open parts, to keep the insects from coming in. So why would somebody come and ask me something stupid like, what's that behind you? If I tell you what it is, why you gotta ask what it is? If you're not trying to be funny or trying to get attention or try to be smart, why would you ask something so stupid? Am I supposed to be embarrassed? Why would I be embarrassed? When fall comes, the air conditioner coming back out the window, I'm closing it, and I'm closing back that curtain. And all you're going to see is the black curtains behind me. If I was self-conscious, I would just unpin the curtain and let it hang down. But then that's going to block the air from coming in. How does that benefit me? How does worrying about what you might say about something, how does that benefit? So I'm supposed to sit here and be hot and uncomfortable because you worried about what's behind me. You should be worried about what's coming out my mouth, not what the surroundings are where I am, because you're not focusing on the right thing. I put the link in the chat. If anybody got something to say, you are more than welcome to come up here. you're more than welcome. Come up here and get to work. It's a battle every day to live as Jesus lived. It is a battle every day, every hour, every minute. And man falls short. Those of you who think that your stuff don't stink, those of you that think you perfect, you the ones that's going to wind up in the lake. I see we just lost somebody. What's the matter? Am I hurting your feelings? I tell the truth. And the truth hurt. And if somebody don't tell you the truth, they don't care about you. We did a web search about people concerned about their families, family members getting into heaven. Almost everything was about, how do I get to heaven? How do I know if I'm going? Very few people wrote articles about their children going to heaven, their mother or father going to heaven, their husband or wife going. Very few. You know why? Because we as human beings, we selfish. We think of each other first. We selfish and we greedy. That's the reason why people are confused. When they say, he's not worried about money, why is he promoting the e-bikes? I like being able to get around. And I want e-bikes. That's why I do it. I can't afford one. If it wasn't for the stimulus, I wouldn't have one. But doing this gives me the opportunity to earn the one the stimulus wouldn't pay for. Why is that so hard to understand? Because the bike that the stimulus did pay for is good. But why do people have more than one car? If you want security, you need at least 3. One might break down. What you going to use while it's broke down? Suppose you put one in the shop and they say it's going to take 3 weeks to fix. But you got a backup. So you say, okay, 2 days later, that backup go down. Now you got no wheels. That's why I want 3. If that's so hard to understand, you can't comprehend that. Security. Right now, I'm almost there. I got 2 e-bikes sitting here. They work. I want one more. Why does that bother so many people? It ain't that. You don't like the fact that I tell the truth. I tell the truth. Like when somebody says, take the air out the tire. You don't need suspension. I'm 283 pounds. If it say put 40 PSI in there and you tell me to only put 10 in, that tells me I'm going to tear my rims up. Why would you tell me something stupid like that? But you got people going around there saying it. Oh, just take half the air out the tire. And you're going to ride around on your rims and tear them up. Who come up with stupid stuff like that? How do you justify that? When I sit there and I tell you that even though that bike sitting over there has a 750 watt motor, I want the other bike that they have that has a 750-watt motor. But what's the difference? You already got one, don't you? The one I got a 26-inch tire. The one I want got a 20-inch tire. The cheaper bike isn't that far from the more expensive bike because of the smaller tire size. Oh, you're full of stuff. But yet, there's a company that says, because instead of giving you a 4-inch tire, we're giving you a 3-inch tire. So instead of a 10.4 amp hour battery, we're going to give you a smaller 9.6 because you don't need it, because the tires are an inch narrower, which makes it easier for the motor to turn the tire. So therefore, you don't need that extra amp. So how come when I say a 750-watt motor is going to turn a 20-inch wheel better and faster and stronger than it would a 26-inch wheel? Oh, he don't know what he's talking about. But I'm going to believe your BS. But I backed up what I said. In my speed test, the 20-inch tire is only 2 miles per hour. Now, it can't maintain it because the 750-watt motor hit it twice and held it longer at 36. But the 20-inch tire, which got the smaller motor, it was able to hit 34 for a second. But it stayed around 32, 31. So if the smaller motor can make the bike keep up with the bigger motor that got bigger tires on it, what if I got the tires from the small tires with the bigger motor? That's what I want to see. And see, I can back up what I'm saying. But I haven't seen no stats to say that it being 1 inch not wider saves you battery. It's still 20-inch. It's still the same 20-inch tire. It's just an inch off. Inch off. That make that much difference in battery power? That you cheating the people out a whole amp? Where's your stats on that? All you gotta do is go to the channel to see what I'm talking about. Everybody got an agenda. What is your agenda? My agenda is to go see my little girl and be reunited. That's my agenda. And I want y'all to be able to come too. In order to do that, I have to expose, defeat, and delete what's being taught in the world right now. I'm not no expert. But ain't nobody came here and told me I was wrong in what I said. I just use simple logic and a little bit of knowledge. And if I don't know something, I'm the first to say, hey, I don't know it. Explain it. I don't just push you away. If you think I'm wrong about something, come say it. But be ready to defend it. You got a lot of people that got good memories. I don't have a good memory. But I'm good at pulling truth out of a situation. I don't have to memorize a verse to break it down. All I got to do is just see it. A lot of people memorize stuff and don't know what the heck it means. All I got to do is see it. We get ready to look at some verses. I haven't looked at them. Don't have to. All I got to do is see it and break it down. I ain't got to study them. I just look at them and break it down. And we ain't been wrong yet. If we were, people would have been came. Y'all heard me talk about what's going on in the church. That's been going on since Jesus was here, or Yeshua. Been going on since he came and been going on since he left. The fact that he doesn't hang, that he didn't hang with the clergy, that let me know I don't need to hang with the clergy. Back then, nobody had a Bible. You can get a Bible anywhere. You can get the Bible on your phone. You don't need somebody to tell you something. What you need is somebody to point you in the right direction. What you need is somebody to get rid of the bull crap. People trying to sound intelligent, trying to tell you something. I don't want that. I want somebody to tell me in layman terms what I need to do. Layman terms. Big words and don't mean nothing to me. Because I can look at the words in written form and dissect them. Tell me what they mean and how do I apply them to my life. The same thing with the e-bikes. I tell you how you apply them to your life. I don't just tell you the stats. Oh, that got hydraulic brakes, that got disc brakes. I tell you what the difference is. And is it worth the money? I tell you what you need to know. Fact of the matter is, mechanical disc brakes are fine, but they need to be maintained more. They don't have the stopping distance that hydraulic brakes do. Hydraulic brakes are more expensive, but they less hassle. If you don't mind the hassle and want to save some money, then get a bike with disc brakes. If you don't want the hassle of adjusting brakes and going more often to get the pads changed, then get hydraulics. I'm not going to shame you for either choice. It's up to you. But you can't come back later on and say, oh, you didn't tell me about that. I did tell you before you went. That's when you know you've been taught well. When somebody can stop you in your tracks and say, I did tell you. Instead of saying, well, I thought you knew. If I'm teaching you, I have to assume you don't know nothing. That's why you're coming to be taught. Or I have to assume you know a little something or not sure. So you need to be taught. But if I assume you know everything, what did you come for? If you know everything, what are you coming for? Ain't nothing worse than going to a tutorial, and the first thing the teacher or host says when they come out is, I assume y'all are up to par. If they come into a tutorial, why would you assume they know anything? Instead of saying, let's review to see how much knowledge you have. Or we're going to start at the beginning and do a refresher course so that you understand what we're doing. That was one thing I hated about school, especially math class. The teacher would teach you something one day, and then the next day will go on to something else. And then that next Monday wanted to give you a test. When you teach somebody something, especially math, they'll learn it for that day. But then the next day, you give them something else. Most people forget. So by the time you do the end of the semester, they only retain 30% of what they learn. How you expect them to pass? But we've been using that formula for a long time. That's why people do cram sessions. Because they trying to hurry up and review everything. Why doesn't the teacher review? The good teachers review everything. Whatever you learned Monday through Thursday, Friday, they review it and give you homework over the weekend so that when you come back Monday, you retain some of that knowledge. But if you teach me something on Monday and then don't mention it, I might remember it, I might not. That's why every sermon that I teach you, take 10 minutes and go talk to Jesus. Take 10 minutes. Go talk to Jesus. How you forget that? How do you forget that? Get Jesus in your life. We had a woman on here. Actually, I was on a panel with a woman. She kept talking about, oh, you fake this, you fake that. And basically was just telling you what I had recorded that because I would love to play it back. Because you could see what Jesus had to deal with back in the day. It ain't changed. The same attitude. He avoided the clergy. If you notice, the clergy came to him. Because they didn't understand why he didn't come to them. And he would tell them. And they didn't want to hear it. So instead of them checking themselves, they start trying to figure out ways to kill him. Isn't that what happens today? When somebody says something that goes against the grain, even if you know it's true, you want to silence the messenger. You want to silence the messenger. That's why the Romans killed so many early Christians. They were trying to silence the message by silencing the messengers. They knew the message was correct, but they had their own interpretation of the message. The true interpretation interfered with what they wanted to do, what their agenda was. And so take off the messenger. Well, to those that want to take out the messenger, I ain't easy to take out. That's one thing you should have learned by now. There's a reason why I was sent. I'm not no easy go. I'm not no easy go. A lot of people have left. Do you see me chasing them? Do you see me hunting them down? Because, see, I learned the lesson that took Jesus and God a long time to learn. You can try to help people, but you can't make nobody do nothing. So if you can't make nobody do nothing, you just keep doing what you're doing and hope that one day they wake up and come back. That's what you hope. But if they don't, oh well, you tried. And this is why, instead of trying to get their own people, instead of trying to have them in their own land, they realize you can't control people. So now, if you want to be in God's family, you have to come on your own. And Jesus is the way. That's just common sense. Jesus is the way. Without Jesus, you ain't going. You got people saying that Jesus was a common man. If God had to take a spirit and put it in her womb, how was he a common man? If John, who was with Jesus more than anybody else, says that he was here in the beginning and that he did all the work, so he's a liar too. No, we know the devil's a liar. And he gets people to lie. That's what we know. That's what we know. Lying. When you tell somebody something that you know is a lie, and you say it enough till people start saying it too, you're working on behalf of the devil. Well, that's so hard to understand. You hear that voice in your head, and that voice tells you the dumbest stuff, and you still repeat it. It tells you the most outlandish of lies. And because you might be hurting your feelings, because you might be left out of something, because you might feel inferior, you sit there and go with it. I've given y'all several examples. And now one person came up here and challenged me on it. Do you not hear that voice in your head? Ain't nobody came up here and challenged me on it. Because, see, it would be retarded of me to come here and say, I'm the best YouTuber, when there are people that get 3 and 4 million views. Why would I say I'm the best YouTuber? But you got people that can't even get two people to watch them. Yeah, well, I'm still better than such and such because that voice in their head tells them, you know you're better. The people just don't know you yet. No, you're not better. You suck. If you're trying to be popular and telling people what they want to hear and they still won't watch you, that means you suck. Let's keep it real. You suck. But that voice in your head, no, you're not. You're just as good. You know, you just gotta do this. Again, well, then you keep listening to the devil. But every day when you go look at your views and you saw only 5 people watching, man, what the hell am I doing wrong? Then that voice come in your head, you know, it's only 5 now, but you know, they just don't know you. You know, you need to go pick on a big YouTuber. And then the people who don't like him, they'll start watching you. And then you'll grow. And for some people that work to an extent. But what happens when the other person stops making videos? Or the other person becomes not hated, but becomes popular? Then what do? You got to go find somebody else. And if you notice, a lot of people, I thought they was messing with that person. Now they messing with this person. What they doing over there with that person? Because they need somebody. Because they suck. It's just that simple. They need somebody. There's a voice in their head that's telling them, all you got to do is just find somebody new to attack, and you'll get the attention you need. Who's telling them that? Who's telling them that? You know who. How many times has there been a man and he goes to a class that's full of women? He's the only dude in the class. So he's popular. He's the only dude in the class. And there with all the women. What happened when a dude come from out of nowhere and start taking a class? The attention starts to lean toward him. That man gets jealous. Why does he get jealous? Instead of getting all the attention, you're getting half the attention. That's not enough. The voice in here is going to say, you know, you was getting all the attention. Why don't you do a background check on him? See if he been locked up. See if anybody in his family was a drug addict. Why don't you just knock the dude down so you can embarrass him and make him leave? And then you'll have the whole class back to yourself. You have all the women back. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Why is it that if somebody notices that the mayor is doing something wrong in the city and they try to do something about it, why do the citizens try to take out that messenger? Because normally the mayor would have to do it, but he ain't got to. Because there's going to be so many people that's following him that's going to do it, right? He get to keep his hands clean. Somebody's going to do it. Even if that person is telling the truth, it don't matter. We don't want to hear the truth. We like things the way they are. You're messing it up. We got to get rid of you. We got to stop you. We got to silence you. That means we got to hurt somebody in your family. That means we got to hurt you. Whatever it takes to silence you. And that's why I asked the question, how come we can get so gung-ho going after the messenger, but we can't get gung-ho about going after the evil? If you got a son that's selling drugs on your block and you know about it, and you know that y'all eating better and you're dressing better and you got a nicer car, if one of your neighbors come and knocks on your door and says, I'm tired of seeing your son out there selling poison, why don't you get him to stop? You know the neighbor's right. Do you try to get your son to stop? Or do you go run to your son and say, this neighbor's going to cause trouble for you. What you going to do about it? And then all of a sudden, we don't see the neighbor no more. All of a sudden, the neighbor moves out abruptly. Or all of a sudden, the neighbor's child gets beat up. See, we go after the messenger, the person that's pointing out the evil, because it's easier, because you don't mind the evil. You'll complain about it, but you don't mind it because you get benefits from it. You'll take out the messenger. Well, I'm not gonna tell my son to stop because I'm getting Gucci purses now, and I just love everybody look at me when I go to church and I got the fanciest hat on and I got the best dress and I got on those heels and everybody just look at me and want to be like me, and it's all because he's selling poison to our people. Well, put on the people he's selling poison to and put on this neighbor. We just gonna have to take him out because I like the attention. I like the excess. I like having a nice car. Somebody last night asked me, why am I talking about e-bikes when I use them for transportation? But I bet you he'll never knock on a drug dealer's mother door and ask them, tell them stop selling drugs on my block. They'll never do that. But see, you worried about me with an e-bike that ain't hurting nobody. But you could care less about somebody that's selling poison to your people. That's my point. Anybody want to come in and debate me on this subject? Because it's going to end real quick, but you can come on up here and try. You can try. You talking about with all the stuff going on in the world. That's why I asked the person, what are you doing? You asking me, what am I doing? I'm asking you, what are you doing? Why you think you have the right to ask me what I'm doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? They said something about they donate. If we go look at the numbers, it's about what, 48 million people that's been affected by the coronavirus, and 607,000 have died. What is your little donation doing for them? Just asking. Because you ask me, what am I doing? I'm trying to get people to get Jesus in their life. So if they do die of the vaccine, at least they're going to the right place. That's what I'm doing. But what are you doing that's going to have an effect? What are you doing? See, because you asked me what I was doing. What little donation have you done that's helped the 40 million people that's been affected by the virus? What have you done for the 600 and some thousand that have died? What are you doing for the current 8 million that are infected right now? What are you doing? Well, I donate. How much do you donate? Is it affecting the people? We're probably only going to get, between the two channels, we're probably going to get 100 views. Sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less. But twice a week, I teach the people to get to know Jesus. I think that's the most important thing that you can get anybody to do. And if only 10 of them do it, that's 10 people that ain't going in that lake of fire. And if we can do that every day, twice a week, if we can do that twice a week, start adding that up and see the difference. But what did your little donation do? Nothing. I don't believe he donated anything, but if he did, what did it do in the big picture? Nothing. What have you done? Because I guarantee you, when you stand before Jesus, ain't gonna be nothing in your book of life about that donation. I'm hoping not to have to stand before him, but if I do, every person who's ever listened to me that actually follow my advice, it's gonna be in the book. It's gonna be right there. But your little donation won't. When you apply faith and knowledge and logic, it becomes unbeatable. Fancy talk, smoke and mirrors, very easy to dissect quickly. They don't have a foundation. The foundation is lies. You can't build a foundation on lies. They're too easy to expose. All you got to do is look. Most people don't want to look. You want to pretend everything is okay. Everything is all hunky-dory. You just want to be in la-la land. I don't want nobody to go into the lake of fire. And I hope that the people take seriously what I say and go do their own research. See, that's the difference. You can take what I say and then go look for yourself. That's the problem. You spend so much time trying to prove somebody not who they say they are. But when you say that you're a Christian, when you say you're a follower of Jesus, and when we ask you, how do I become a follower of Jesus? You ain't got no answer because you ain't a follower of Jesus. When you start to open your mouth up and people go, that's not what the Bible says. Where you hear that? What do you mean? Well, it's not in the Bible. I never seen that. What are you talking about? In the days of Google, you just can't say anything out your mouth because it sounds good at the moment. All somebody got to do is go Google it. Whoa, Google's wrong. Okay, well, I went to Wikipedia. Well, they're wrong. So everybody wrong, but you can't explain to me why you right. See, a lot of y'all think that y'all gonna sweet talk your way past them pearly gates. You think you're gonna sweet talk your way in. It ain't gonna work that way. Y'all think y'all gonna sweet talk your way in. The same way you try to sweet talk yourself into getting things down here. You try, and it might work down here. It ain't gonna work when you get up there. It ain't gonna work. I pulled this up about 5 minutes before I came on. Let me see if I can find this thing here. It's just some scriptures. I love to break down scriptures. All right. Can y'all see this on your screen? I just typed in fake Christians and this popped up. This is Open Bible Info. It's just verses. Does anybody want to dissect this first one? If y'all want to, if you can't magnify it on your screen, Google it or pull it up on your Bible. Isaiah 29:13. And the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me, and their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. Anybody want to break that down? Anybody want to break that scripture down? I'm listening. Anybody want to come break that scripture down? Since I'm fake and I don't know nothing, I ain't seen this before. I'm sitting here taking a tobacco pouch and ain't even paying it no mind. You know why? It ain't going, I already know. The Spirit gonna tell me what to say. I ain't worried. But anybody want to come break this down? I'm not even looking at the screen. You see, I'm looking down. I don't need to see the screen. But I wait. I'm looking at the chat. See if anybody want to say anything. Anybody want to break it down? Anybody want to come in? Say anything? Since I'm fake. Come on in here and show me up. Where all the scholars at? Where all the people that know the Bible? Well, where you at? I'm still looking down. I ain't looking at the screen. I don't need to. But watch how fast I break it down when I do look. Anybody? Somebody? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take a look. This is Isaiah 29 and 13. And the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips. I talked about this earlier. Because people say, oh, Jesus in glory, and I love Jesus, and ooh, Jesus. They think that because they say Jesus is good, Jesus bless you, I love Jesus. They saying it with their mouth. They really don't believe it. Because they talk good of me around other people. But what did they say to Jesus when nobody's around? What did they say to God when nobody's around? Probably nothing until they need something. They doing that for you, their peers, their fellow human beings. They want you to think that they holy. They want you to think they're religious. And so they use Jesus' name a lot. But let's keep going. Because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me. If you listen to me, I told you that the Bible refers the heart. But don't think of the heart. Think of the mind. Because see, your life spirit, your soul, it's in the blood. What pumps the blood through the body? Your heart. But I want you to go further than that. Because the heart pumps blood to your brain. And your brain is the issue. Do you have Jesus and God in your brain, in your blood, in your body? Or you only have them when you think it'll benefit you to mention them? Because that's what this verse is saying. Their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. They pretend to be in fear and awe and reverence of Jesus or God because they've been taught that by doing that, people will think that you holy. Oh, yeah, Miss Johnson would never do that. She's always talking about Jesus. No, that's a good woman right there. Really? Sorry, buddy, my contact just slipped. But really, commandment taught by men. For those of y'all that saw me on that lady's panel with that lady from my city, I told y'all that I don't hang in them circles because those people say things and do things that were taught by men, not taught by Jesus. I was being accused of not being like people who do what men say to do. I'm a man just like you a man. Why do I care what you say? You can't get me off this planet. So why do I want to act like you? I want to act like the man that can get me off this planet because he came down here and he showed us how to act. He showed us what to do. And sometimes I am so embarrassed by some of the things that I've done on YouTube over time. It's shameful. What I did earlier this year, what I did last year to the woman in Atlanta, I'm ashamed. So ashamed that we left that sector, even though I was doing well in it. There's no way you can keep doing that and say that you're a follower of Jesus. And that's why I had to let it go. And some of y'all know it was tough to let go. Because when we came down on people, the views went up. But I had to realize if I'm good, people will watch me regardless. But there's no way I can keep coming to you and saying that I know Jesus and keep doing that stuff. I can't do it. How could you have any respect? And just like a woman or a man that don't know how to take no for an answer, people keep coming after you. They come slash your tire, or they bust your windows out, or they beat up your new mate. Same thing on here. People come troll you. They flag your channels, try to get YouTube to fight for them. It's the same thing. See, when you try to leave evil, evil don't want you to leave. Misery love company. And when you leave, they think you're going to do better than them. This verse is saying that people are taught to say nice things about Jesus and God. But if you watch their behavior, there's no way that they living with Jesus and God. There's no way. What's the next verse? James 1:26. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his heart, this person religion is worthless. I'm reading this right now and I want to cry because I just said this. I just said this. Anybody want to break it down? I literally just said this. You want to tell if somebody real or not? I literally just said this. If anyone thinks he's religious and does not bridle his tongue, what is a bridle? A bridle is the thing you put in the horse's mouth when you have the reins. And you control the horse by those reins, by controlling his head through his mouth. If you can't control your tongue, how can you say you're religious? That's why we had to leave that sector. I just told you this, and it's right here in the Bible. Anybody that think they're religious, just like the woman from my city was trying to tell me on that panel that she's religious and that she's going to heaven, and yet she makes videos telling people to lick her time of the month blood out of her vagina and says it proudly. How can you say that? You are religious and then say something like that. Do you see the hypocrisy? Somebody can literally cuss you out and then start going praise the Lord and hallelujah in the same breath. That person's religion is worthless. And it's right there in the Bible. It ain't Minister Brother Derek saying it. The Bible's saying it. I said it and the Bible's backing me up. Would anybody like to comment on that? Where all the scholars at? Where you at? If anyone thinks they're religious and can't control that tongue, you know, I was so irritated this week. I was irritated at myself. Because even though we were doing these stress tests on the bike, my alter ego kept coming out. Stuff kept going wrong on the mobile lives. I was angry at myself. Because I was saying things I know I don't say. And I was letting it get to me. And I was angry at myself. I was ashamed. Everything just kept going wrong. And I knew somebody's going to say, look at him. Look at him. Look how he's talking. I was letting the devil get to me. And I'm better than that. But if you are not ashamed when you talk that talk, if you're not ashamed when you act ghetto, if you're not ashamed when you out of your character, anything you say or do is worthless. It's right there in the Bible. Because you can't keep saying that I'm going to keep doing these things and then I'm going to repent. Because after a while, Jesus is going to stop listening to you. He's going to start ignoring you. And you're going to see things happen in your life. See, if you see me 3 years ago and see me now, I'm a lot better off than I was 3 years ago. That's because I got Jesus in my life. I'm a lot better off. Matter of fact, I'm waiting right now. I've been promised something that I want really bad. If I don't get it, it ain't the end of the world. But it's something I want really bad. And if it happen, I'll tell you about it. And if it don't happen, I'll still tell you about it. But it's not in my hands. It's in Jesus' hands. If he wants to bless me with it, I'm going to accept it. If he doesn't bless me with it, I'm fine. Either way. See, that's the difference. The same way I got this apartment. I've been wanting it for years. And it came when I was about to give up. I've been promised 4 other apartments. And neither of them came through. The worst thing about living here is them stairs. That's the worst. I'm dealing with it. But I tell you this, if an opportunity came, and I ain't looking for it, but if it come, because I can deal with the stairs. But if an opportunity comes that I can get an apartment on the first floor, it would be the ultimate. For me anyway. It might not never happen. But if it does, I'm going to be ready to step up. If it doesn't, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Because I'm still better off than I was before February. Even when I was living across the way, there was no air conditioning. The 2 summers that we've had, 19, 20, and 21 now, has been some of the most humid summers that I've ever seen in my life. And it was a blessing that I had air conditioning. But when I was living downstairs on the first floor over there, I didn't have any air conditioning. Sometimes I would have to leave my door open. And somebody broke in, and luckily they didn't kill me. Somebody broke in, and luckily the only thing they took was a bottle of pepper spray. They had looked through my wallet and didn't see any money. It was a $5 bill in there, but they didn't see it. They could have took my ID, Social Security. You know how hard to get that stuff back when you ain't got no wheels? I didn't have wheels at the time. It would have been very hard to get all them cards and stuff back. Not to mention the medical cards. When you ready, Jesus and God will deliver. But you got to be ready. That's why I keep this place as clean as I can keep it. The other places I didn't care about. The day I was on somebody's show and I was fussing somebody out at 1 a.m, it caught the attention of everybody in the building. But it's gone away. You notice that we stay on to 2, 3 in the morning. They don't say anything. Because through good behavior, it's been eliminated. We didn't used to go out late. Through good behavior, It's been eliminated. Somebody complained about Davy's kitty litter. I've been staying up on that. Nobody's complained. See, the devil's still trying. But how do you respond to being tried? How do you respond? Do you handle it or do you just wallow and just throw your hands up? Are you a fighter or are you a loser? Do you give up quick? Because I could have gave up and said, oh, woe is me. But no, we keep fighting. I got the devil working hard now. He was trying to irritate me by sending nets in the house. I killed everything. Then he tried flies. Flies are easier to kill than nets. A couple times we've been sitting here. Mosquitoes came in and were trying to eat me up when I was doing the show. I got the spray bottle and kept spraying myself down. And then when we got off, I went to work. You think my neighbors were happy about me running around the house chasing flies, gnats, and mosquitoes? I was being lazy. I didn't seal the vents on the air conditioner. I went and sealed them up. Do you know they're still finding a way in? Not as many as before, maybe only one or two now. But they always come out when I get done my show and I sit down and get ready to start eating. That's when they come out. And it's only one. And then I have to stop eating and let my food get cold and I have to go kill it. And I notice it's only when I'm eating now that they come. So by me blocking the vents, they can't get in. But still finding a way to have somebody. Even when I take the bike outside. I don't know if y'all can see on the video. Flies come from everywhere. For when I come back in, I be shooing them out. But that's how desperate the devil is. If I close the door and I trap a fly and I start chasing them, the cat go open the door. I have to lock her out so I can kill the fly, the gnat, or the mosquito. He'll even use the cat. That's how desperate he is. He's desperate. And it don't matter how much I clean, I bleach the house every day. I take care of Davy's litter box. I clean the toilet. Don't matter. That's how I know it's something supernatural. I can get mad about it or I can handle it. We just handle it. Because see, by me blocking up all the vents, it's making it hard for the devil to get him in here. He working hard. I ain't doing nothing. Him and the demons was working. It don't take me no time to kill him. But I notice the flies are getting faster. The nets are always baby nets. See, the big nets, you can see them. Now I got to run around with the flashlight on the phone to kill them. See, as you improve, you make the devil work harder. And that's what you want. Make them earn it. Don't let them get nothing easy. Make them earn it. Act like you playing chess and keep calling check. And he got the mate you. I challenge the devil. Do your worst. I dare you. Do your worst, punk. Now the Bible says to run from him. And I'm wrong when what I just said. The Bible says to respect the devil. I'm hard-headed because I know that the devil, the beast, and the Antichrist are the first three in the lake of fire. The devil and Antichrist going first. I mean, the Antichrist and the beast going first. The devil get locked up for 1,000 years. But then after the battle, he get thrown in first. He knows this, and he's still doing what he's doing. How can I respect him? If I have the sense to know I don't want to go in the lake of fire, I want to see my little girl. He's supposed to be this super being, and he that stupid that he don't know that he going in. He don't know that he can't ever beat God. He don't know that he can't beat Jesus. He don't know that he going into the lake of fire. And instead, it's going to get all of us to go in there with him. How can I respect him? He's a loser. He can get mad all he want. Make nobody watch. I don't care. You still going to be the third one in the furnace. So all the powers you got, all that hocus pocus, you can't do nothing to stop yourself from going in that furnace. Why should I be afraid of you? Why should I worry about you? Why should I respect you? Because Jesus and God made you? Well, Jesus made all of us. What's your point? The point is that we all know what the end is. Some of us are going to wake up, and most of us ain't. Some people, you can preach to them all day. They ain't going to pay you a bit of mind. You do it because Jesus asked you to. But you focus on the people you can help. We teach the truth here. How many people here? 11? But somebody can put on some fancy wingtips and a nice suit and be in a fancy church with a whole bunch of idols you ain't even supposed to have in the church. They can get millions to watch. But are they real Christians? Or are they secret devil worshipers? See, I tell the truth. Truth hurts. That's why people like lies. They like lies. Let's continue. Matthew 7:21-23. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. I said that earlier. Isn't that amazing? But the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do mighty works in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. What is Jesus referring to? Well, I used the example earlier about somebody that might have helped the children that were homeless from the orphanage fire. And they might have got them hotel rooms and went around telling everybody about it. They'll say that they did it for Jesus, but then they'll be interviewed and they'll make sure everybody know they did it. That means you didn't do it for Jesus. You did it for yourself. When he says Did we not prophesy in your name? People speak as if they talk to Jesus, as if they know Jesus, that they uplifting the name of Jesus, when they actually using his name to uplift themselves, to seem like they doing something to that fellow man. They don't know Jesus, because if you knew Jesus, only him and God would know what you did. But because you make sure to make a spectacle out of it, you make sure to get your handshakes and your pat on the back, and you make sure you get your mentions. You make sure you on the Twitter. You make sure the people on the Facebook know. You make sure people on the TikTok know. You worrying about what these people think about you. You're not worried about God. You worried about them people. What somebody think of you. What your image is. You're lying when you say you did it for Jesus and God. You did it for yourself. And there's a lot of people who might do nice things, but their heart not in the right place. And here Jesus is telling you, I know this. And I might allow you to do something because it's good. But what's your reason behind doing it? Are you doing it because it's something that I want you to do, or are you doing it to get attention? Are you doing it to find favor with your fellow human beings who can't do nothing to get you to the next level? We did the story of Job, which was life-changing. Because until Nia asked me to do the story of Job, I always avoided. I ain't like how Job started. I've always avoided the book of Job because I didn't understand why would God so easily give up the best human being on earth. With Job, by the laws of Moses, Job was the perfect man. But Job wasn't walking with Jesus and God. Job was not walking with him. Moses went back to a land where they were looking to kill him because he killed an Egyptian. God told him to go back through Jesus in the bush, and he went back. Noah was told by Jesus through God to build the ark and to get his family and to get to it, each and every animal. Somebody that's not walking would say, you done lost your damn mind. You must be crazy. Because guess what? All the other people on the planet said the same thing. Look at this fool building the ark. What are you doing? What are you putting two of everything in the ark for? What the heck wrong with you? Think you gonna live with some animals? And ain't they gonna poop and stink up? And how you gonna feed them? And think about it. Noah was walking with God. Abraham, after finally getting the son that he wanted, Jesus came down and told him to kill him. And he was going to do it. Most people would say, you done lost your mind. It's a miracle that my 80-year-old wife actually had a baby, and you expect me to kill it? You must have lost your mind. He didn't hesitate. God had to stop him at the last minute. Tell Jesus, no, tell him stop. Stop him. Just wanted to see if he would do it. See, that's faith. You got that kind of faith. That's the faith that allows me to go out there and ride around at night. That's the faith that allows me to go ride around the hood. That ride I took the other night was so dangerous. And all I kept saying was, where's everybody? That's all I kept saying. Where's everybody? Because the last time, when I used to drive for a living, I would ride through there. It'd be people on every corner, just out on the street, out hustling, gambling, arguing. It was quiet as a mouse. And I don't know if y'all noticed that. A lot of the times when I go out, it seems quiet. And when we first started doing the mobile lives, it irritated the heck out of me. I'm in the hood. Where's the noise at? You know what I'm saying? And then I realized there's a reason. There's a reason why these people are not out. Some of y'all might disagree, but I believe it's a reason why these people are not out when I come by. Because somebody's looking out for me. Somebody is looking out for me. The day we got stranded, y'all didn't see not one person that looked like me out there. But nobody bothered us. Nobody said, hey, boy, what you doing back here? When we go out riding around, and I take y'all to them houses that got the $1 million homes, you've only seen one time when somebody actually came out there and was looking at me. And that was the first time we had Marsha and she cut off. And we was in that block. And even though we was well lit and we were doing the mobile live and I was talking to y'all, somebody came out, a man came out and kept looking at me. And I told y'all about it. The video's up. But he never said anything. He never approached us. That's why I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid when we go out. I'm not. We didn't see people until we got down to the waterfront. That's when we saw people. We went through the whole city and it was like it had been turned into a ghost town. It wasn't until we got down to the water that we saw people. And even though we was in the city, we was in a well-policed, well-protected place because that's where the white people be at and they protected. But that's where we saw, it was black folk down there. But it was a different type of black folk. Wasn't really nobody hood down there. But nobody bothered us at all. Nobody tried to take the bike. Sometimes when I ride through the hood, I hear people saying, "Bring me my bike." Hey, where you going with my bike? Hey, let me take it for a ride. Hey, let me ride your bike. You didn't hear none of that. The problem that you see me having is like technical things. What do those technical things do? They keep us from having a good mobile life. Who doesn't want us to have a good mobile life? Let them earn it. Let them earn it. I got Past Select to send me a $2,000 e-bike for free. And of course, it had to come damaged. Am I surprised? Nope. But we took it. And we took that bike from 50% to 85%. You know that they sent FedEx here 3 times to pick that bike up, and I shooed them away. 3 times. Some people will say, well, why you just didn't send it back? Because I told you I wanted 3 bikes. If I send that one back, I'm back down to 1. At least now I got 2. And I got 2 sitting here that they can have back, but they don't want them. So I'll keep them as spares until they ask for them. But if push come to shove, I got the controller for each one. If I need them, I will fix them. If I need them, I'll fix them myself. Because they make good bikes. So technically, I do have the 3. But I want a 20-inch wheel with a 750-watt motor on it. Both of these bikes that's sitting here, they only 500 watt. I'm still going to yearn. Why should I have to yearn? Y'all understand what I'm saying? I have 2 that work. I have 2 that can take me to the doctors. I have 2 that can take me to the market. I have 2 that can take me to the pharmacy. I have 2 that can take me to Burger King or McDonald's or wherever. And there's 2 sitting here in reserve. I'm better off than I was, and I still got the little one in the closet. I'm better off than I was. I'm not satisfied, but I'm better off than I was. As much fun as I had on Bessie, it's something about Marsha. And I know it's the fat tires, and I know it's the hydraulic brakes that I really enjoy. But we had a good time on Bessie. I'm feeling blessed right now. I paid the BG&E bill yesterday. I gave them that $73. That was the first time I paid BG&E since we got the stimulus in mid-April. I got the bike and I put some money on the BG&E, and then I got the fuel fund and the EBB involved. Because I had put the money in with the stimulus, I actually got that money back by not having to pay the bill for 3 months. And I hadn't had to pay BG&E until this month. So from April to September, I didn't pay BG&E. And I got 2 air conditioners and I run them all the time. That's a blessing. What I got to complain about? Even when something bad happens. Last Monday, Amazon cleaned my bank account out. I didn't have much in there, but I thought Amazon took that money already because we ordered it on the 24th. They took the money out on the 31st. Amazon took that money out the same day. Y'all got Amazon? You know I'm not lying. They put me in the hole. I couldn't figure out how to pay that what do you call it? The overdraft. We overdrafted by $21. I couldn't figure out how to pay it back yesterday. I even called, and the lady told me that there's no way they can take it off the card. I ain't never heard nothing like that. So I said, well, what's the overdraft surcharge on it? She said there is none. So if there ain't no charge on the overdraft fee, ain't no need in breaking my neck to pay it, but I will. So even at the worst, I'm still all right. Was on the phone for Amazon for 3 hours. I got money from Amazon for food. I still got food in there. Y'all know we went to the market. I was complaining about how much it was. We only spent like $24. I just took the pack of chicken out that I bought that saw a couple hours ago. Because we had got chicken from Amazon. I actually bought a case of I bought a case of a diet soda. I still got a case of the Mountain Dew zero sugar in there. I still got 2 bags of rice. I still got the whole thing of noodles. I still got a half a case of grapes. I still got a whole thing of the oranges. They're gonna rot before I even eat them. So even though something bad happens, I still come out smiling like a rose. What do I have to complain about? I don't. I'm doing better than I was 3 years ago. And then on top of that, when y'all know how much I pay in rent, those are the watch what I told you. But you know that it's an odd number. And when you go to the ATM, it's in even numbers. And so last month I had 2 5s. And so I was able to take the 20 and put it in the wallet. And like I told you, y'all see how big my wallet is. When you put something in there, it gets lost. You don't see it. I had money in my wallet I didn't even know about. I had money in my wallet I didn't know about. So last month I was able to give him 2 5s, and I put the 20 in my wallet and forgot about it. Now when after I came from the ATM, I asked him, did he have a $10 bill? Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. He's gonna say, so you can't leave the $10 with me? Really? But I looked in the wallet. I found the $10 bill in there. I was like, where does 10 come from? And then I remember. Y'all remember when we went to the pharmacy and I told the cashier, I told the security guard too, I wasn't supposed to see y'all until the end of the month. And they told me that it was free. They told me that the prescription was free. But when I went there, I was supposed to got 3 prescriptions, but it wasn't 3. It was 2. And one of them was the insulin. I still had 3 insulin pens in the refrigerator. And I'm like, even holding on to this 20 for the longest time. And I paid the $10. And that's where that 10 came from. So take that 10, take the other 10, right? And think about the 20 from last month and the 20 from this month. Now I got 2 20s in my wallet. I haven't had 2 20s in my wallet. I'm straining my brain right now. I haven't had 2 20s in my wallet since November of 2017. Y'all would say, well, so what? I actually got 2 20s in my wallet. Y'all would say, so what? Y'all know I don't carry money. But I haven't had 2 20s in my wallet at the same time since 2017. I feel rich. Y'all hear me say in the video that it's a daggone shame that we can't stop anywhere because I don't have any money. Unbeknownst to me, I had a 20 and a 10 in my wallet and didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. And there was 40 in there. I didn't even know it. Y'all might say, so what? Yeah. To me, that's a blessing. And you know what? The next chance I get, I'm going to take one of them 20s and I'm going to have them broke down into 2 10s. And then that way, when I pay the rent next month and the month after, I'll have the 10. And I'll be able to take a 20 and put it back and get a landlord a 10. Like I say, some of y'all might say big deal. Well, big deal to me. It's a big deal. You know, when I went to the ATM remembered my card number and it asked me, do you want to take out? All I had to do was press a button. and they actually gave me 50s, which made it real easy to count. That was a blessing. Small things. When you learn to appreciate the small things, then you'll really love the big things. But this is something small. It's big to you, but that's something small. Ain't nothing worse than, well, there is something worse. The only reason I say that. But it really feels bad, not to have any cash. Sometimes, I'll be wanting to go to Burger King on the rides. Sometimes I'll be wanting to go, to McDonald's or something, you know, just to switch it up. And a lot of times don't have the money. Like I said, we used to have people that donated, and they would donate, and we would go do those things. But they're not here anymore. But it's nice. I mean, if I wanted to go get some curry out right now, I could. If I wanted to order something, I could. If I wanted to get a Uber Eat right now, I could. But I got food now. I don't need it. But I could. And that's just a feeling. You know? It's just a feeling. It's nice when the bills is paid. The only bill that's not paid, um, StreamYard hasn't taken their money yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep the StreamYard because it looks terrible. The StreamYard mobile live looks terrible. I like being able to stream on I can stream at 3 channels. I can stream 3 channels at the same time. And the stream live on YouTube, use the YouTube app, you gotta have 1,000 subs. The Minister channel has 1,000, but the e-bike channel doesn't. If y'all are not sub to the e-bike channel and you don't like us doing the 2 channels at the same time, if y'all would like to sub, that will help. Some of y'all that got more than 1 channel, if you would sub to the e-bike channel, that would help. But we only got 100 and I think we got 141 subs. We need 1,000. And I don't want to do it the fake way because we got the last 100 the fake way. I let the guy from Bronxville took me to these places and I picked the subs up. And none of them people watch. So what good is having them sub? They don't watch. None of them watch. A lot of people got subs, but when you look at the views, you say, how you got 5,000 subs and you ain't got 400 people watching you? What the rest of it is because the people sub because you did a switch, but they didn't sub to you because they like you. That's why don't be fooled by subs all the time. Because there's people that don't have any videos up that got subs. Don't be impressed by subs. And don't be impressed by views. What you be impressed by, look at the analytics. How long did they watch? Being monetized, I'd rather have 5 people that watch 80% of the show than to have 300 people that watch 5 minutes of it. YouTube won't count them. That's how we got the watch hours. Because people would watch me. We had Nia and Liz and Snazzy and Sam. It's a lot of people that watch the show that don't say anything. And we haven't been beefing with anybody, but for some reason, people are ashamed to chat in our chat. They're ashamed or they feel they're going to be ostracized. Yeah, I saw you over there in Bubba Dirk chat. What you over there doing? But we haven't been beefing with anybody. I don't understand why the people are afraid to chat. I don't understand it. We got people from the e-bike community that actually, and they'll say something once in a blue moon, but they actually watch the e-bike channel and they don't say nothing. I don't understand it. They don't say nothing. They just watch. And you got people that's waiting to see if I'm gonna talk about somebody so they can go run. But you also got people from the e-bike community that's waiting for me to say something about their e-bike so they can go say, you know, that's why I don't pay it no mind. I just do my show. If you watch, you watch. If you don't, you don't. I don't even worry about all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, it don't mean nothing. You know? If you're good, people gonna watch. Like I said, I was really surprised that that we did the World Star videos and it was just me and Nia here. And that video going on 4,500 views. The weirdest thing. That video going on for 4,400, 4,500. Might be going on 46. I ain't looked in a while. But it's just amazing. You never know what somebody gonna watch. But I look at it as, when I was over in the other side, the other sector, and the people kept saying, yeah, he do Family Feud and he do religion and stuff. Nobody want to see that stuff. Boy, it sure felt good to go over there and say, hey, I got 4,500 people to watch me do the World Star. Yeah, he doing that World Star and then they on religion. But we got videos. We got religious videos that got 2,000 views on them. It's a lot of people that talk about that man in Atlanta. We don't talk about him that much, but got done. When we did, we got almost 6,300 views on one video. One video got 49 and one got 45. But when I see other people do the video on them, they get like 300. I be like, well, what the hell you do wrong? And we wasn't even talking about them. We wasn't even talking about them bad. They were roasting the heck out of them. I said, all you got was 300 views? I'm like, Kevin King, when he was doing the mugshot, he was getting like 800 or 900. Like, what the hell are you doing wrong? But they'll sit there, I got 30 people in the chat and you only got 8. Be like, okay. But I don't need nobody naming my title. I don't need nobody in my name who average 20,000, 50,000 views a video, and you using his name and you're not even getting 1,000. Like, what the hell are you doing wrong? I wasn't even talking bad about him and got, that's why I don't worry about the numbers like that. I appreciate anybody that watch, especially the religious videos. I appreciate anybody that watch. According to the two phones here, it's 3 people on the minister channel and it's 7 people on the other channel. Some people will say, well, why are you using both channels? Because the majority of the people, when they realize that people on the e-bike channel, they'll come from the minister channel and hopefully they'll come sub to the e-bike channel. We got 1,040 on the minister channel. So if I can get some of them 1,000 to come sub and be on the e-bike channel, doesn't that make sense? That's why we went on a rev to see if we can get some people that sub to the Reverend channel. Maybe they'll come over and sub to the e-bike channel. See, there's a method to what I do. Some of y'all say, I don't understand why you're doing more than one channel. Well, because see if you can bring some of the people over. It's just common sense. You know? Just common sense. But like I said, if anybody not sub, it's called E-Bike Life Why Disabled. We changed the name for several reasons, but one of the reasons is if somebody's looking for information about an e-bike, maybe by putting e-bike first in the title, it'll pop up. Because that's one thing that people don't realize. You can show somebody a new e-bike, but people want to know how long will it last? You know, how many miles you got on it? Like right now, we get ready to break 200 on Bessie. So we're going to have our 200-mile anniversary show coming up pretty soon. And I think we got 160 on Marsha. So we starting to log some miles. The good thing is it lets people know that they're good bikes. If y'all see the problems that we had with Marsha before, man. But hey, it was a $2,000 e-bike. Shoot. I got it for nothing. I can put a little bit of money into it. She still ain't perfect. She good enough. I remember when this thing used to cut off every 20 minutes. Now, if it does it twice during a ride, you know what I mean? If it does it twice during a ride, it's something. Whereas before, it was doing it, every half an hour. But I put the wire that was loose in it. I put that back, and I got them to do the what do you call it, the pedal. I got them to put the new pedal thing on there, and we got the power assist, so we're not using the throttle only. I only use the throttle if we had to start on the hill or to start off, but I can push off with my foot and just pedal, and the pedal assist will come in. And I don't know what I did. I noticed that the pedal assist comes on faster on Marshall and Bessie. But you don't need the pedal assist unless you want to. Well, if you want a steep hill and you want to help out, that's the only time you really use the pedal assist on Bessie. That's why I say the bike that need it comes on faster on. That's why I say I can't complain. Even when hampered by something else compensates for it. Let's get back to these questions. I got off topic. Sorry. 1 John 8:10. 1 John 1 8 to 10. I'm sorry. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. Hold on a sec. If we say, if I go any further, that we don't sin, that we have no sin, I know people that say they got no sin. They're gonna lie. You lying to yourself already. How you gonna tell me something? You lying to yourself. We have been born into sin. We are sinners. Even something as simple as if you get on a bus or the subway and there's people on there and there's no window seat available, and you get on there and you got a little attitude and you saying, I wish these people wasn't on here, and them people got just as much right to be on that place, on that train or bus as you do. Why are you thinking evil thoughts about them? Even something as simple as you was a kid and your mother say, hey, I'm going to the store, y'all want to come along, and you go to get in the front seat and your sibling beat you to it. Now you got an attitude with that sibling because you wanted to ride in the front seat. That's a sin. You thinking bad about your brother. You're sinning. So how can you say you have no sin? If you was in school and you did a good job on the paper and you was like, yeah, I'm gonna have the best grade in the whole class. And then that nerd always come up there and he get the A plus plus and just beat your A. And everybody pat you on the back and say, hey, you got an A, good job. You go, yeah, but he got an A plus plus. You're sinning. Why are you worrying about what he got? You're sinning. People don't realize that. You're sinning. When you sitting there talking to somebody and somebody ride by in a nice car. Oh, he thinks she all that because she got that car and he ain't all that. You're sinning. Y'all don't realize it. You're sinning. God does not like that. If you do something that God doesn't like, you're sinning. So how can you say you have no sin? We born into it. We are born into it. If you go to the store with somebody and you say, hey, let's go in there and let's get something to drink, and both of y'all go get Cokes, and you notice that it's more soda in the person you with bottle than it's in yours. And you're like, man, he got more soda than the you don't realize you're sinning. You moaning and groaning about nothing. You got a little attitude about nothing. So how can you say you don't sin? But let's continue on. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not in us. This is 1 John, and he's referring to Jesus and God. And he knew Jesus intimately. And listen to what he's saying. If we say we have no sin, we lie to ourselves. And the truth is not in us. We full of crap. If we see, I'll break it down so you understand. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we confess the little sins that I was telling you about, they'll be forgiven. That's if he know you. I don't want to leave that part out. A lot of teachers leave that part out. If he know you, you have a relationship with him. And the relationship is not you just talking at him. That's the problem that Job had. Job thought, well, long as I keep doing everything that the law says, I don't have to say nothing. I ain't got to talk to God. I ain't got to have a relationship with him. So he's not walking with him. So why would God have a problem? Why would he have a problem with telling the devil, go ahead and take him? He ain't walking with me. He might do everything you're supposed to, but he don't do the most important thing. He don't acknowledge me. He don't talk with me, to me. If he mentions me, he talks at me. And y'all have to understand what the difference is. A lot of the times you might tell somebody to do something and you always talking at them, especially a child. Let's just use a child as an example. You keep telling a child don't do something, but they see you doing it. But you have to sit down and explain to them, I don't want you to do it because I shouldn't do it. I'm old and set in my ways. It's harder for me to stop doing it. You're young. You haven't started yet. That's why I'm trying to stop you. That's why I don't want you to do it. I know I smoke cigarettes every day. And now you getting older. Now you want to smoke cigarettes. But let me tell you, you wake up feeling terrible. You're killing your lungs. You're taking all these toxins into your body. And when you get my age, you're going to be older than what you are. I don't want this for you. That's why I don't want you to do it. Instead, you just say, because I told you to, or because I said so. Guess what? The child going to do the same thing you're doing. Because you talked at them. You didn't talk to them. And that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of people that talk at Jesus and God, but don't talk with them. That's why they say they don't know you. You haven't established a relationship with them. That's what they mean when they say they don't know you. So if you sin and you haven't asked Jesus to forgive and cleanse those sins away, and if you go around telling everybody, well, me and Jesus is close and everything, and you don't talk to Jesus, he's going to tell you, I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? I don't know you. Get out my face. That's what he's going to tell you. But you got people that think that they say glory and praise Jesus and hallelujah and ooh, child, they think that because they were taught by man. But that's not what the Bible says. That's not what Jesus said. You're going by what the pastor said. You're going by what the deacon said. You're going by what the reverend said. You going by what your parents say, what your neighbors say, what your friends say, but you're not going by what Jesus said. That's why he's gonna say he don't know you. See, this ain't hard to break down. It ain't hard to explain. But let's keep going. If you say that you have not sinned, you calling Jesus and God liars. That's pretty self-explanatory. And you don't have the word in you. Because if you had the word, you would know that we are sinners and that we need Jesus' help. If you don't know that, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, you can't walk with him. I'm not being smart. You can't walk with them. Don't say you walking with them. You lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to the people around you. And you're going to get people thrown in that furnace of fire right along with you. And you're going to lose your soul. It's one thing to lose the body, but you're going to lose your soul. Let's continue on. 2 Timothy 3:1-5. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. For people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Avoid such people. Listen to how true this is, if you're honest with yourself. Everything said in this verse applies to today. Everything. Having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Let that stick in your mind. Remember what I said? When people try to appear to be religious, but then when you watch them, you see they not. When you see how they deal with other people, you see they not. That's why I love when the trolls come in here and say evil and vicious things. They expect you to take them seriously. It's like, really? Who are you? You ain't even got the courage to be yourself. Who you coming on all these crazy names, crazy avatars? Why the heck should I take you seriously? You don't even have the courage to be yourself. How can I take you seriously? Why should I worry about anything that come out your lips? Why should I even pay you any mind? Why should I care? But listen, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. You got a lot of people that try to pretend to be something they not. That's the one thing they can't say about me. I come as I am. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm not trying to fake. I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm just Brother Derek. A lot of people who just can't be themselves. You've heard me ask several times, why you just can't be yourself? Why you got to hide behind somebody else? Think about it. We can use YouTube as an example. How many YouTubers hide behind famous characters or fictional characters? They'll be anybody but themselves. Just like the women that wear the weaves. They rather put a shopping bag on their head. They rather put on a bonnet. They rather put on Aunt Jemima scarf on their head, then let you see their hair. They're ashamed. They don't think they're good enough. They don't think they measure up. And that's why they pretend to be something else. You got a lot of people that pretend to be holy. Some people, that's all that is to them. Hallelujah. Hey, glory. Praise you. So, what do you like? Whatever Jesus like. So, what's your goal? Whatever Jesus has in store for me. There's nothing to them other than the image they're trying to give you. Avoid those kind of people if you can. If you got to deal with them, do the business and go. Don't hang around them until you pick up their bad habits. Revelations 3:15. 3:15 to 16. I know your works. You are neither cold nor hot. Would that you were either cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. Yeah. Anybody want to dissect this? Does anybody want to dissect this? It says, I know your works. That means I know what you do. I know what you do. You are neither cold nor hot. What does that mean? You are neither cold nor hot. You know, when I read that phrase, I think of what God said his name was. It was actually Jesus in the bush. So Jesus said God's name was, I am what I am. I am whatever needs to be. Let that marinate for a second. I am what I am. God says that he can adjust to any situation. He can handle anything. That comes to mind when I read this statement. You are neither cold or hot. Why does that ring a bell? When you are neither cold or hot, that means you neutral. That means you okay with good, you okay with evil. And you will shape yourself to fit in either category when it calls for it. But you're not perfect like God and Jesus. So you think that by being lukewarm, and I gave an example. If you walk by and you see a drug dealer selling crack to a young mother, and you see that she's strung out and shaking, and you just look and go, and go about your business. That's a lukewarm reaction. You know that it's wrong, the situation. But hey, she's stupid enough to keep taking that stuff. Hey, He keeps selling it. Hey, he making his money. Hey, she getting her drugs. Like, there you go. The same way, why you think that Jesus and God want that attitude up there with them? Because see, you could be up there and you go, you know, I really don't feel like singing today. So maybe I'll come up with some kind of commotion to interrupt when it's time to go give praise. Because see, you indifferent. And you don't care. You don't care either way. Why would they want you up there to contaminate everybody else? They don't like people that's not one way or the other. You see something wrong, you're okay with it. It's just whatever, you know. No reaction at all. They look down on that. They do. It shows you have no care for your fellow man or woman. You don't have no care. That's why they say they will spit you out. You don't have no conviction. You don't have no stance. You just like whatever. Hey. I remember I had a friend of mine. We lived in Emerson Village at the time. And I was invited. He invited me over to his house for some snacks. We got in there and went in the kitchen, and there was mice droppings in there, and it was roaches running all over the place. And he went and grabbed something and tried to hand. I said, "Oh no, thank you." And I said, "Oh, can we go back outside?" He was like, "I was going to see my video." I said, "No, no, thank you." I went back outside. I didn't want to be in that house, and I let him know that the house is nasty. I don't want. Hell no. Now, you would say I was rude. Maybe I could have said it better, but you can't say I was lukewarm. You can't say I was neutral. I let them know. Now, to go in there and see all that and not say nothing and just go along, and then one of them roaches get in your clothes and you take it home and sit down and the roaches come out your clothes, and then a month later you got roaches in your house because you didn't do nothing about it. You were just whatever. Jesus and God don't like that. They don't like it. Matthew 7:1-29. Judge not that you not be judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you see the speck that is in your... I mentioned this earlier. Why do you see the speck that's in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take that speck out of your eye, when there is the log in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. It's just like if you got a woman that got 6 kids with no baby daddies around, and 2 of her children go to jail, but the woman on the same block, she has 3 kids. She'll say, well, I made a mistake and had 3, but I ain't dumb enough to have 6. She got 6 kids she got to take care of, and 2 of them are in jail. Well, this woman may have had only 3, but all 3 of her children are in jail. How can she talk about the woman that got 4 kids running around free being productive, but all 3 of her kids are in jail? How can you talk about that woman when she has more kids than you, no help with them, but only 2 of them went to jail? You only got 3 kids, and all 3 of them are in jail. Worry about your kids. Maybe they wouldn't be in jail instead of worrying about somebody else's. That's what's being said in this scripture. That's what's being said in this scripture. It will be like somebody saying, it will be like somebody that was in a wheelchair that didn't have no legs, and they saw me carrying the bike down the stairs, and they would go, look at you. You got to carry that bike down the daggone steps. Look at you. And I would look at them and be like, I got legs to carry them down the steps. You can't even carry yourself. What the hell you worrying about me carrying a bike down the stairs when you can't even carry yourself up or down a flight of stairs? Why are you worrying about what I'm doing? I'm doing something you can't do, and you trying to make fun of me. Worry about your own legs not working instead of worrying about my legs that work. But that makes sense to y'all. You trying to make fun of me. You can't even get up the daggone steps. How you gonna make fun of me? At least my legs work. You lost your fight with the diabetes. They took both your legs. I'm still in the battle. I'm still trying to hold on. And at least I'm using my legs. Your legs is gone. You got stumps. How you worrying about what I'm doing? It's a blessing to be able to have legs that work. It's a blessing to be able to walk up and down a flight of stairs. It's a blessing to be able to carry a 80-pound e-bike up and down and stuff. That's a blessing. That's not a curse. How are you making fun of me for that? But see, it makes him feel better at the moment. It makes him feel less insecure about the fact that he ain't got no legs. And in his warped mind, he think that he's saying something. But deep down, he would kill to have the legs that I have. I've kicked people in their throat and they ain't got back up with these legs. You sitting there talking. You can't even get to somebody's throat sitting in a damn chair. You can't even reach somebody's throat with your hands. How you gonna make fun of me? How you gonna laugh at me? How you gonna try to look down on me when I'm doing better than you? A man can have $1 million and have servants and maids, and a man could be living under the bridge. The man got legs that work. That rich man jealous of him, and he'll try to cover that jealousy up by making fun. Hey, look at him under the bridge. That dude, like, you trade all that in just to be able to walk under this bridge, and would shut them down. That's why you need that money. Take comfort in it, because you can walk by, you can wheel by with the best wheelchair. You can have somebody dress you in the fanciest clothes. But one thing you can't do is get out and walk down this hill and watch me step in front of you. Because with all that you got, you would trade it all in just to do what I'm doing right now. You would trade it all in. So stop worrying about me. I'm fine. Because I can do something that your money can't help you do. Look at me. Hold on. I'm doing the back step. Wait a minute. I'm doing the two-step now. Hold on. Yeah. Do y'all understand? Stop worrying about what somebody else is doing and worry about your own business. You'll be a lot happier, and the people around you will be a lot happier. Because if all you got to do is worry about what somebody else is doing or ain't doing, that means you ain't taking care of your own business. That's what that means. Let's keep right on going. Where we at now? Luke 6:46. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? That's easy. That's easy. A lot of people call on Jesus. A lot of people say they know his name. A lot of people swear they know him. Don't do anything he said for them to do. They do the opposite. But they'll tell you, oh, no, I know Jesus. I know Jesus. I'm teaching you right now, and I'm telling you, I could do a better job. I could do a better job. How many people won't actually tell you that? Sometimes I'm ashamed. I could do a better job of doing what Jesus told me to do. Jesus been telling me to leave. He said, I allowed you to come in here to get notoriety. It's time for you to leave. And we would leave, and then somebody will come mess with us, and we come back. Now, why do we come back? Because the numbers grew. But I'm being told to leave it alone. You did it to get your foot in the door, and we allowed you to do it, and we protected you. Gave you everything you needed, even though we didn't approve. Now it's time to stop. I had followers tell me it's time to stop. But I kept letting myself get drawn back in. Why? Because drama creates excitement. But then one day the Spirit said to me, you know, when you do this, your views go up, but what do you get out of it? And I had to really sit and think, what do we get out of it? I mean, other than humiliating people, what did we get out of it? Nothing. We didn't get nothing. Nothing but getting flagged and losing good members. What did we get out of it? We don't get nothing. And a lot of people, they don't get nothing. And they be in the same spot that they was in when they started. It's people that been on here for 7, 8, 9 years. And they still in the same spot. They ain't changed nothing. Numbers ain't changed. Ain't nothing changed. It took the stimulus for me to get a good e-bike. Beefing didn't get me anything. Leaving it alone and focusing on the e-bike and the religion got me three e-bikes, four, actually it's four altogether now. Now two of them don't work, but they can be made to work, but two of them don't work. We working on getting the third one now. What good is beefing is not going to get me that third e-bike? So why should I keep doing it? That's why we stopped. Why should I keep doing it? It didn't get us anywhere. It didn't. Didn't get us nowhere. And it's a lot of people that's still doing it. And they ain't getting nowhere. They're not getting nowhere. Some of them come and go. I hope that I'm an example that you can do it without the beefing. Do y'all realize that the video that I made yesterday should have had a whole bunch of trolls coming over here? I bet you there ain't not one comment attacking us. I guarantee you, there's not one comment attacking us. Go to the channel. We only got 68 views. BRODERRO. I'll put my PS5 against any 500-watt e-bike out there. Any takers. I'm the only comment. No comments. No one will accept my challenge. Then I feel safe that the Pedelec PX5 is the best foldable 500-watt e-bike under $1,100. Not one comment. 68 people watched the video. I got 15 thumbs up and 4 thumbs down, but not one comment. Why won't they comment? Why won't they comment? Hold on, we was on 2 channels. We was on the Minister channel always. Also. Let's take a look. See, why does it do that? Let's go to the Minister channel. I got a different title here. It's the same video though. Is Pedelec PX5 the fastest 500 watt e-bike? I put two different titles down. I was up for almost 24 hours. I took my bike, the Pedelec PX. Somebody said fantastic, but where are the? And I got two thumbs down here. The only reason I showed you that, where are the trolls at? Where are the people that bought other e-bikes standing up and saying, no, my e-bike is better? No, you don't know what you're talking about. Because of the fact that we showed the stress test that we did the other day, nobody else would stress their bike like that. That's why nobody's saying anything. They don't have the faith in their bikes like I do. They're not willing to risk it. So they don't say nothing. Not one comment. Not, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, fat boy. That's why you're broke. Whatever comments people like to say. Nobody. Not a comment. See, when we first started talking, they thought I didn't know what I was talking about. But because we cover all the points. We actually cross our T's and dot our I's. They know that they can't come over here and say something stupid. They're going to get chopped up. They leave us alone. And that's what we're trying to do to the sector we left. We want to get to the point where they leave us alone. I hope we don't get flagged, but y'all know that we just picked up, I'm an affiliate of the Ride One Up, and this is the 700 series. I want y'all to take a look at this. I ain't seen this. Let's take a look. We'll look at it together. Before we even start, I guarantee you, this dude got people to film him. Hold on. I want to pause the video, but we're not even going to watch it yet. I guarantee you, this dude got people to film him. Probably got a drone, probably. I'm just going. I guarantee you, this dude is going to tell you several things about this bike, but he ain't going to stress it. He's not going to show you him stressing it. Everything he show you is going to be short and quick. It's going to be like 30 seconds, a minute. There's a reason why they don't ride these bikes hard. I don't think they got faith in them. But let's take a look.
Is a beast of a bike. These guys believe quality e-bikes shouldn't have to cost as much as a car, so they tinkered around to explore if that was true and came up with this. Now, the 700 is one of 5 bikes they offer, and as far as price goes, it's about right in the middle at just under $1,500. So let's see what you get for $1,500, starting with a speed test. The 700 series has 5 pedal assist modes, with the highest reaching 28 miles per hour. They have a weight limit of 275 pounds. Now, I'm 180, so almost 100 pounds less than the weight limit. So I'm pretty confident I should hit 28 miles per hour. And now with a 50% battery.
You got somebody to hold a speed gun and film them.
The pedal assist can be changed from 5 levels up to 9. The top speed won't change, they've just added more steps to decrease the acceleration per level. They went even further and have given the option to adjust the percent of power for each level and the sensitivity, with level 1 being the most sensitive. It makes the bike customizable for the speed demon and the sightseer. I'm going to do another speed test, this time only using the throttle. For the second test, I have a battery at 50%, so let's see what we get. So straight pedal assist on the highest level, I got 26 miles per hour with the full battery and at 50%. So it has a pretty consistent battery. Using straight throttle with the full battery, I hit 27 for just a split second. Most of the time it was at 26. The throttle can also be adjusted in the menu, and it's the first time I've seen one located on the left side of the handlebars. The 700 has a 500-watt rear hub motor, powered by a 48-volt battery, which is the biggest battery I've seen on a bike so far. It does weigh 62 pounds, the heaviest I've reviewed. So let's see how long it takes to reach the top speed in the acceleration test. This first test is on pedal assist at level 5, and it's the same road I use for my speed test. Oh, there we go. 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I changed all the settings to make that thing just pop. It got up to 20 miles an hour really quick, probably within a quarter of a block. And then it took another block and a half to hit 28. So overall, it was about 2.5 blocks to go from 0 to 28. Now I'll do the same thing with straight throttle and see if there's a difference. Guys, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, this is the same spot I reached on pedal assist mode, and I was at 28 right here, and I got to 24 using straight throttle. Ride One Up claims the 700 can reach between 30 and 50 miles, which is a pretty big spread. They say that depends on rider weight, terrain, incline, and level of assist. So to give you guys a better idea of what the 700 can do, I'm going to try a couple different tests. The first test is on pedal assist level 5. I have zeroed out the odometer and I have a full battery. The 700 series has a Shimano 8-speed trigger shifter. It also has...
He did exactly what I've been saying. He did exactly what I was saying. He hasn't stressed that bike. He ain't showing you. He's not out there in traffic. He's on the road where his house is. Suburban neighborhood. You live in an urban environment. You don't know what that bike gonna do in it because he ain't showing you. And when he is on the road, he's sitting there on the side of the road. I mean, and he don't show you the stress. He don't stress the bike. I don't like that. Stress it. Watch the video I shot last night. I stress it. You don't see him stressing the bike. You just see him for a couple seconds and then he stopped and change the shot. How does the bike do? Does the bike hesitate? How does it perform going uphill and then down? We don't know because they're not stressing them. And that's why there's no comment. My videos, we stress the bike. We go to different roads. We stress the bike. We actually went to a safe. We started riding to the lake. Then we rode around the lake twice. The lake is 1.4 miles. Then we came out and we went across a bridge that's being worked on. And we actually went around the bridge and went onto a trail. We took the trail down till we came out into the street. Then we rode in the street. We rode all the way to the end of the city, all the way down. Then we came all the way back up. I showed you that the bike can take you citywide. We stressed it. We pushed it. So now you can look at it and say, hey, I want that bike. But not just show you little clips. Anything can look good for a minute. Anything can look good for a minute. Somebody can say, hey, I want to show you a lock. Can't nobody break this lock. If you put it on your door, it'll make you safe. Even if they kick it, it won't come in. And they kick the door 2 times and then say, hey, you want to buy it? No. Kick it with all your might several times. Show me that it won't break. That's what I do. They just want to go, see, I told you. Look at it. You got to get this. No. Stress it. Show me what it take to break. Then I'll decide if it's what I want. Because if a 250-pound muscle-bound man start kicking the door, that's different than somebody that's 100 pounds kicking the door. Show me what kind of stress it can handle. Give me a real test. And that's where they fail at. Now, he was showing you the 700. I represent that same company, Ride Up One. But I don't represent it like I represent Pesolec because I don't know anybody there. And they haven't responded to me yet. But I tell you something. I like to see that 700 go up against Jan Brady. I would like to see that bike go up against Jan Brady. Let me see. $700. I would love to test this against Jan Brady. I do like the fact that they got a step-through version. But that's how I look regular. Step-through version. But let's take a look at the. They want $16.95 for that bike. What does it have? 48-volt, 500. They got a 500-watt motor. The battery is a 14i color display. So it has an extra amp on the battery. Anything else different? It has a front fork. Tires 27.5 by 2.4. Shimano 8-speed. Let's see. It has a rear rack. All right, so it has one more amp on the battery. It has a rear rack. Where are the brakes? Did I pass them already? Where are the brakes? They got hydraulic. Okay. Now this was how much? This was $16.95. And I gotta say, I like the fact that they got a rack. But they want how much? $16.95. Whew. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let's look at Jan Brady. Now, Jan Brady got a 13 amp hour. They got a 14 amp hour. If I had to choose one, I would take that red suspension. If I had to choose one, I would take that red suspension. And it's wider tires on Jan. That will be your difference. The rear suspension and a 14 amp hour versus a 13 amp hour battery, which is probably an extra 5 to 10 miles it'll go. But they got 2.2 inch wide tires. The tires the same size, it's just the width. The tires are wider on Jan. And with my coupon, you get Jan for $13.99. So you save $200 and something. So be honest with you, you can't go wrong either way. But some people will say, well, I could get a suspension seat post. And I could say, yeah. And I can tell you, I can get a rack for Jan. Because that's basically the differences. That's your difference. Oh, and this has a step through. But I'd rather use the coupon and get Jan for $13.99. But it ain't much difference between the two, except for the rack. But this ain't got no suspension. You can get a suspension seat post for $20, but you can get a rack for $20, and you'll save $200. You'll save $295. I think that the Jan's a better deal. It's your opinion. See, my job is to tell you an educated opinion, and then you take it and get the one you want. I can tell you Jan has the same suspension as Marsha, and I can tell you that suspension, you need it. You need it. That's all I'm saying. That suspension, you need it. I just happened to see that and got distracted. But let's get back. Where are we at? Matthew 5:11. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. So if you standing up for Jesus and people making fun of you, Jesus is saying you're going to be blessed for it. You're going to be blessed for it. Let's keep going. That one's easy. Romans 16, 17, 18. I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause division and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine you have been taught, and avoid them. For such persons do not serve our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own appetites, and by smooth talk and flattery, they deceive the hearts of the naive. This is a perfect one to end on. Watch out for those who cause division and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. For such persons do not serve our Lord Christ, but by their own appetites, and by smooth talk and flattery, they deceive the hearts of the naive. You got people going around thinking that they doing stuff that God and Jesus approve of because they've been told by slick talking people that that's what they should be doing. That says it all right there. So, all righty. Anybody have any questions? Hell, my sleep habit's still messed up by me staying up the other night. I just got back on track and got knocked off again. Anybody have any comments? Hello. Ain't nobody said nothing in the chat. Well, okay. Then we'll go ahead and call it a day then. Thank you everybody that watched. I appreciate it. And I'm going to go rest for a bit, and I might come back later on. Talk about the e-bikes, maybe look at the news. So y'all have a great night. And thanks for watching. As Nia would say, see you soon. As I say, hey, I'll see you later on. Peace, everybody, and have a great one. We out.